There's two types of programming languages out there. The ones that everyone complains about and the ones that no one uses. Today, let's talk about JavaScript. So I find it always pretty remarkable that people get very emotional about JavaScript. Some people absolutely love it because, it's quick, it's fast, it's easy. And some people actually really hate it. And me personally, I'm just indifferent. I just don't care. Wait, what? Yeah, exactly. I just don't care. Now, I always think about programming languages like a handyman thinks about tools. The handyman is probably not going to get emotionally attached to like the hammer or the screwdriver. That would be kind of weird, right? But the handyman just picks the tool that gets the job done. Getting the job done means that you execute on top of the business model, right? So code is the tool that executes on the business model. So that means code itself is not a purpose on its own, but it always exists within a business context. And let's just evaluate like the business context, then pick the right tool and get the job done. That's like my opinion. Now, if someone were to ask me about like the technical strength or technical weaknesses, I could name a few, right? But that does not mean that the JavaScript ecosystem is bad. On the contrary, actually, I think it's extremely valuable because of the mere fact that there are so many JavaScript developers out there and that the ecosystem is absolutely huge. Like it's really, really big. And that makes it valuable despite like some technical flaws. Now, if I had to mention one flaw, it would actually not be like a feature or of the language, but rather the ever-changing ecosystem. I think this is extremely annoying because every once in a while, every few months, you got a new fancy library coming up, and that library just more or less makes the other library like obsolete. And now you kind of have to pick up like a new library. Now you can say, oh yeah, but it's just JavaScript. Like it's not too hard, right, to pick up a new library. Yes, but I would argue that it's not really time that is very well spent, because I think that we as developers would be better off looking into like other areas, especially looking into the business area, like thinking about, okay, how does strategy work? Like, is this thing that I'm currently implementing actually useful for the business goal that I'm trying to achieve? Am I actually doing the right thing? Or should I maybe do something different? Or another thing would also be to just learn like some complementary skills that might not be directly related to programming, right? Another programming language is probably not what you need as a developer. Like what you need as a developer to kind of be successful in the organization you're in are probably something like people skills, presentation skills, requirements engineering. Like that's very soft, but it's super important. Oftentimes you have a high level business objective and you don't know how to break it down into small steps. If you're a good requirements engineer and you can ask the right questions, then that's a really useful skill to have. And requirements engineering is like not trivial, even though it sounds a little bit pink and fuzzy, Yeah, so that's my view on JavaScript. So I'm pretty much indifferent. It's a nice tool for getting things done. It's a nice tool for specific types of tasks, like IO heavy stuff and these kind of things. But overall, I think we should not get too caught up like in this tool. There's also other tools out there. Maybe have a look at them as well. And maybe also have a look at complementary skills. So what do you think? Like, what's your opinion on JavaScript? What do you think is the biggest flaw in the ecosystem? Let me know in the comments below. Also, you can reach out to me on Twitter. My Twitter handle is @productioncoder. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Leave a like and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video.